Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome indeed to Downing Place Church and to this lunchtime concert entitled Bound by Love and given by Jane Bower, Pippa Jones and Peter Britton, none of whom are strangers to this platform. Half of the retiring collection today will be for our church's special cause for February, which is the local charity CAMFED, which supports girls' education in rural Africa, details of which you can find in your programmes. The rest of any collection will be put towards the costs of arranging these concerts. And for those of you who might want to give electronically, I'll be standing by that door over on my right with a card reader. After the concert, you're invited to stay for tea and coffee, available in the hub through these doors here on my right. And that's where you will find the toilets. Meanwhile, should you hear the fire alarm go off, it will be for real, so please evacuate the building via the door you came in or, again, through this door on my right, and gather on the grass on the other side of Downing Place. The performers have asked that we keep our applause until the very end of the concert. They believe it will help the flow of the programme. So please now do switch off or mute your mobile devices and then join me in welcoming our performers to the platform.
I wish I could remember that first day, first hour, first moment of your meeting me. If bright or dim the season, it might be summer or winter for aught I can say. So unrecorded did it slip away. So blind was I to see and to foresee. So dull to mark the budding of my tree that would not blossom yet for many a May. If only I could recollect it, such a day of days. I let it come and go as traceless as a thaw of bygone snow. It seemed to mean so little, meant so much. If only now I could recall that touch, first touch of hand in hand. Did one but know. The boy was barely 5 years old. We sent him to the little school and left him there to learn the names of flowers in jam jars on the sill and learn to do as he was told. He seemed quite happy there until 3 weeks afterwards, at night, the darkness whimpered in his room. I went upstairs, switched on his light, and found him wide awake, distraught, sheets mangled, and the eiderdown, untidy carpet on the floor. I said, "Why can't you sleep? A pain?" He snuffled, gave a little moan. Then he spoke a single word. "Jessica." The sound was blurred. "Jessica? What do you mean?" "A girl at school called Jessica. She hurts." He touched himself between the heart and stomach. "She has been aching here and I can see her." Nothing I had read or heard instructed me in what to do. I covered him and stroked his head. "The pain will go in time," I said. Her ivory hands on the ivory keys strayed in a fitful fantasy, like the silver gleam when the poplar trees rustle their pale leaves listlessly, or the drifting foam of a restless sea when the waves show their teeth in the flying breeze. Her gold hair fell on the wall of gold, like the delicate gossamer tangles spun on the burnished disk of the marigold, or the sunflower turning to meet the sun when the gloom of the jealous night is done, and the spear of the lily is aureoled. When I was 21, I heard a wise man say, "Give crowns and pounds and guineas, but not your heart away. Give pearls away and rubies, but keep your fancy free." But I was 21, no use to talk to me. When I was 21, I heard him say again, "The heart out of the bosom was never given in vain. 'Tis paid with sighs aplenty and sold for endless rue." And I am 22. And oh, 'tis true, 'tis true. These I have loved. White plates and cups, clean gleaming, ringed with blue lines, and feathery fairy dust, wet roofs beneath the lamplight, the strong crust of friendly bread, and many tasting food, rainbows, and the blue bitter smoke of wood, and radiant raindrops couching in cool flowers, and flowers themselves that sway through sunny hours, dreaming of moths that drink them under the moon. Then the cool kindliness of sheets that soon smooth away trouble, and the rough male kiss of blankets, grainy wood, live hair that is shining and free, blue massing clouds, the keen unimpassioned beauty of a great machine, the benison of hot water, furs to touch, the good smell of old clothes and other such, the comfortable smell of friendly fingers, hair's fragrance, and the musty reek that lingers about dead leaves and last year's ferns. Dear names and 1,000 other throng to me. Royal flames, sweet water's dimpling laugh from tap or spring, holes in the ground, and voices that do sing, voices in laughter too, and body's pain soon turned to peace, and the deep panting train, firm sands, the little dulling edge of foam that browns and dwindles as the wave goes home, and washen stones, gay for an hour, the cold graveness of iron, moist black earthen mould, sleep, and high places, footprints in the dew, and oaks and brown horse chestnuts glossy new, and new peeled sticks and shining pools on grass. All these have been my loves. His paper fingers touch the silken globes of tulips as we pass. He hears their song. The lavender he crumbles is the same deep hue of purple as the threaded veins that form the tributaries of his hands, convey the music that each plant and blossom play. The daffodils' crescendo yellow blare, the bluebells woodwind soft, the piccolos of crocuses, the cello-laden air. Green fingers play, conduct, he hears their song. I turn his wheeled chair to face the sun. He lifts his sightless eyes, simple and bright. My father is a child in pure delight. Today I think only with scents. Scents dead leaves yield, and bracken, and wild carrot's seed, and the square mustard field. Odours that rise when the spade wounds the root of tree, rose, currant, raspberry or goutweed, rhubarb or celery. The smokes smell too, flowing from where a bonfire burns the dead, the waste, the dangerous, and all to sweetness turns. It is enough to smell, to crumble the dark earth, while the robin sings over again sad songs of autumn mirth. A single flower he sent me since we met. All tenderly his messenger he chose, deep-hearted, pure, with scented dew still wet, one perfect rose. I knew the language of the floweret. My fragile leaves, it said, his heart enclose. Love long has taken for his amulet one perfect rose. Why is it no one ever sent me yet one perfect limousine, do you suppose? Ah, no. It's always just my luck to get one perfect rose. And things get no better here. "Don't you care for my love?" she said bitterly. I handed her the mirror and said, "Please address these questions to the proper person. Please make all requests to headquarters. In all matters of emotional importance, please approach the supreme authority direct." So I handed her the mirror, and she would have broken it over my head. But she caught sight of her own reflection, and that held her spellbound for 2 seconds while I fled. Why not? I think he's fled by now. The table we had wanted went to you, the 2 seats yours, though you were only one. We sat nearby and idly watched you pull a purchase from a plastic bag. The small, soft thing you laid upon your lap was new and white. Our faces lit until we looked at yours. Your eyes were wrong. A blank yet focused stare, feelingless and fixed, as if you read a dull report. A baby suit, unsettlingly small, empty, a toy unstuffed or overloved. And with your thumbs you ironed it outwards from its heart, repeatedly, unpleasantly too firm, a rhythmic test to see if it would smear. Then, with a sigh from a chasm in yourself, you folded flat each limp and unfilled limb, and sealing it inside its plastic shroud, you rose and left, taking your story, leaving us a void. I shot a silent prayer bolt after you, a glistening, visceral strand stretched skin-thin pink between us till it snapped. Talk was anaesthetized. The picture hung. Still life with empty table and 2 chairs, untouched white napkin, and redundant milk. Many liquid squeegees and dismembered brollies, Coca-Cola cans and rusting shopping trolleys, several discarded single black Doc Martens, hordes and hordes and hordes of old McDonald's cartons, half a Fiat 126 to claim the insurance, choking plastic way beyond mankind's endurance, Tesco bags and bits of orange nylon rope, and look, there are bottles labelled Cherryade and Rocket Thunder, empty packs of cigarettes and Golden Wonder, toys that you get given free at service stations, plastic fobs from Henley members' reservations, orange peel and Castrol Super Lube containers, Baco foil and Adidas athletic trainers, double blade disposable blue razor blades, and look, there are part disintegrating bits of perch and tench and floating recent life that won't bear close attention, shiny pools of manganese and benzochloride, sulfurous waves of petrofluoride, sewage treated and untreated in profusion, drainings from an engine sump in part solution, old car batteries sitting on the glorious placid shoreline, leaking acid, and washed down from lovely shimmering Derwent water, one whole sheep marked radioactive, do not slaughter, canisters with skull and crossbones part revealed, canisters unmarked just saying Sellafield, banks of vegetation standing rotting sweetly, banks where vegetation's given up completely, there I sat down and I saw a swan of purest whiteness gently lying, saw a swan of purest whiteness slowly dying, saw a swan enmeshed in bits of angler's twine, poisoned by the lead weights on a fishing line, and many people rushing forward who cried to see it, many people rushing forward who tried to free it, saw the swan who lifted up her failing head, saw them gasp to hear her as she quietly said, "You'll no doubt have heard how swans refrain from crying up until the moment that we find we're dying. Charming, but as you can see by then it's not much use. Quite apart from which swans aren't responsible, you know. So what's your excuse? Love bade me welcome, yet my soul drew back, guilty of dust and sin. But quick-eyed love, observing me grow slack from my first entrance in, drew nearer to me, sweetly questioning if I lacked anything. "A guest," I answered, "worthy to be here." Love said, "You shall be he." I, The unkind, ungrateful, ah, my dear, I cannot look on thee. Love took my hand, and smiling did reply, who made the eyes but I? Truth, Lord, but I have marred them. Let my shame go where it doth deserve. And know you not, said love, who bore the blame? My dear, then I will serve. You must sit down, says love, and taste my meat. So I did sit and eat. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And now faith, hope, and love abide, these three. And the greatest of these is love.
And in the end